Today on the Trent Out Loud podcast. It is actually, dare I say, not the worst that happened to her that night or that day. A man the size of Diddy doubling back his fist and punching her in her eye. It's still just crazy to even know that happened. What up? It's your boy Trent Out Loud, and I am back with another episode. All right, I'm fresh off of vacation. I know it was only one day, but it felt like a lifetime, man. I hope you guys had a great long weekend. I had an amazing weekend, and of course, having Monday off was beautiful. Like I told you guys Friday, I had 2 birthday parties. I had a dinner date. Date. I went out to the club, was partying. Yeah, I woke up Sunday like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I only went to bed when the sun was coming up. It was actually the whole sun was up fully. But no, I had a great weekend. Of course, Monday was a little bit more chill, a little bit more relaxed. You just get ready for your Tuesday. But of course, really enjoyed myself, man. So I hope you guys had a happy and safe holiday. And I'm refreshed, I'm recharged, and I'm ready to get this show on the road. All right, I got one lead story for you guys. I'm sure you can guess. I obviously got to talk about Diddy. This came out on Friday, and it is Tuesday, so it's 4 days late, but we got to touch on this for sure. Then we're going to jump into quick news. We're going to talk about Scrappy's reaction to Diddy, Eminem's daughter, Hailie, getting married, Chet Banks. I'm not even going to spoil that. Just stay tuned for that. It has to do with Drake and Kendrick, and it's hilarious. Stay tuned for Chet. And then we're going to quickly touch on the helicopter crash in Iran. Then we're going to jump over to speed news. We're going to talk about Kendrick Lamar, Amber Rose, another little tidbit about Diddy, and then Druski. Then we're going to close out with 2 questions of the day because we only have one lead story. And then we're going to close out with speed news. We got to discuss the NBA Eastern and Western Conference Finals. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, devices, or your radios up. I'm going to start this show. Let's go. All right, so I normally start off lead stories with reading you the title of the lead story. But because we're already 4 days or 2 days into Diddy's apology, and I'm sure you guys must have heard of it repeatedly by now, I'm not going to start out with the lead story. What I've decided to do is just kind of give everybody a recap of the past 4 days, kind of just summarize it, put a bow on it, give you my take, and then we'll move on. All right, so like I said, maybe trying to just pull out some pointers that you guys may have missed. So the first thing that we're going to brush on is, okay, so the video, a lot of people kind of confused by the dates. The video that came out, the Diddy and Cassie video that came out with Diddy physically abusing Cassie in a hotel room in Los Angeles. The date was March 16, 2016. Okay, so that's one thing. It happened close to 8 years ago. Another thing I want to debunk is a lot of people think that video alone was the only abuse that Cassie suffered that day. She also says that in her court affidavit that the reason why she ran out the room is because Diddy got so drunk that he punched her in the eye and gave her a black eye. And after that beating allegedly took place, she fell asleep. Well, they both fell asleep. And as he was asleep, she was trying to get out the room and escape. That's why when you see him running down the hallway, that's him like waking up being like, what? Yo, she tried to escape. And that's why he's dragging her back to the room. So what we saw on that CNN exclusive videotape of Diddy abusing Cassie, it is actually, dare I say, not the worst that happened to her that night or that day. There was him punching her in her eye, giving her a black eye. That what we just saw was him grabbing her back, not belittling anything at all what we saw, but the dragging down and kicking her when she was down, it was horrible. Throwing a vase at her was horrible. But just imagine a man the size of Diddy doubling back his fist and punching her in her eye. It's still just crazy to even know that happened. But so just imagine how horrifying the tape is to see, but just imagine what went on when the cameras weren't rolling. Okay. All right. So this happened before. So another thing so LA County the sheriff's department has issued a statement saying that they have seen the videotape, but because it happened in 2016, well, hold on, just to make sure, they have seen the videotape, they think it's disgusting, they think it's appalling, they're denouncing it, it was horrible. But they're saying for the county, they are not allowed to press charges because it's gone on past the statute of limitation. If I'm not mistaken, the statute of limitation in California is 5 years. So for domestic violence, anything that has been disclosed, or if there's any proof of it after 5 years, the state can no longer press charges. So Diddy will not get any charges laid against him from this videotape. There might be other things that are coming along the line. As you guys know, his house was raided, etc. But there will be nothing that happens to him criminally for this incident. Okay. Okay. Another thing that is really important to talk about, and like for me, it's like one of the things that blows my mind the most. And I'll be honest, this is something I didn't even remember. Is that Diddy has repeatedly lied about the allegations that were set forth to about him. And it was Charlemagne who brought up this point. I mean, I saw this like everybody on Friday. I saw his apology. And by the way, again, just to reiterate, I'm choosing not to play the hotel footage because, like I said, it's the fourth day. You guys have seen it already. It's up on my Instagram if you guys want to see it. I did post it on Friday. If you guys want to go see it, I'm trying out loud, but I'm sure most of you have already seen it. And I'm also not going to post this apology because, again, it's already out there. So I don't want to waste your guys' time. But when I saw his apology on Sunday, right away I was like, you know what? At least he's apologizing, right? I'm like, there's a lot of times we see stuff like this and it takes days and nobody's apologizing, or they let their ego get in their way, they don't apologize. I'm like, hey, minimum, at least you apologize. But then on Monday, when I was, because in the US, they don't have a holiday. So I was watching The Breakfast Club and Charlemagne gave Diddy Donkey of the Day. And he was like, yo, not only do you need to apologize to Cassie, and by the way, I'm going to tell you in Speed News why he didn't apologize to Cassie, but he's like, yo, you need to apologize to us, Diddy. And I was like, why does he need to apologize to us? It's like, yo, Diddy has been lying to us this whole time, because this whole time Diddy has been saying, yo, these allegations are not true. So just because I'm paying somebody off, just because I paid Cassie off, this is not admitting to any false, that I've done anything wrong. Not false, but I've done anything wrong. And then I went back and I found his statement. And Diddy posted this on Instagram. I don't remember the date. Give me the date. This is December the 6th, 2023. He said, enough is enough. For the past couple of weeks, I have stayed silent and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation, and my legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth. Sean Diddy Combs. I completely forgot about that. I forgot how vehemently he was denying these allegations. And there was tons of allegations, and you cannot leave it up to speculation like, oh, the Cassie ones were true, but the Little Rod one is not true, or the other one here. Like, when he made the statement, he didn't say, hey, I'm not perfect. Where it comes to me and Cassie in my relationship, there was things I did wrong that I regretted. However, the other three now that other people are coming out with, the other four, I just want to vehemently deny those ones. He never said that. He just said very clearly, he said, sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a payday. So obviously that puts Cassie's civil lawsuit into that group. And 100% I agree with Charlemagne. That is so wrong. And I don't understand the audacity of Diddy thinking he could do something like that, knowing there's a videotape out there, or knowing that there could be possibly, because that's one of my other points, is that he paid $50,000 to buy the tape from the hotel in 2016. But bro, how are you going to trust whoever you're buying it from that they don't have a copy, that they're not going to just come out like every year and be like, hey, by the way, I'm going to put this out. Give me another, $50,000 or $100,000. How could you make a statement like this knowing that there's something like that like this out there? And on top of that, I'm sure there's got to be some other things in the past 15 or 20 years that are on tape that, and he knows about it. So for him to put the statement out, like, he already looked bad, but it's over for Diddy. That's why the title of this podcast is like, yo, Diddy is over. He's finished. It's like there's no coming back for this, because not only did you do what you did, but you came out to the public, and there was a lot of people, I wouldn't say majority, but there was a lot of people that were backing him. Even Slim Thug came out and was like, yo, I have to apologize to Cassie, because, you know, Diddy came out and said he didn't do these things and be looking for a payday. And I know a lot of people come out and try to, you know, drag and extort celebrities, whatever. So I'm on Diddy's side. Slim Thug even came out and was like, I got to apologize for, you know, having this guy's back. So yeah, I just think like every single thing that he has been doing since this started has been wrong. I'll get to a couple of things about that later, but that's one of the things, that statement that he put out. Okay, another thing that I wanted to talk about. One of the things I said to you earlier is that the state of California cannot press charges against him because the statute of limitation has expired. It's 5 years for domestic abuse. However, I did hear, I think it may have been on Academics' stream, that the federal investigation could maybe use this tape against him when it comes to kidnapping. And a charge like kidnapping doesn't have a statute of limitation. Like, there's certain things that don't have statute of limitation. Kidnapping, murder. You know, it's like not like domestic abuse is not serious, but there's a lot of crimes that have statute of limitation. But something like kidnapping, because it's so severe, or murder, for example, is so severe, there's never a statute of limitation. It could be 40 years ago, you're still going to jail if you killed somebody and they could prove it. Okay, so the fact that he is dragging her after he drags her down, then he kicks her on the floor. You see, there's a part in the tape where he's dragging her back in the room. That could be, the feds could use that against him for kidnapping, and he could be charged with kidnapping. I think there are a lot of other things they probably want to charge him with, but again, I'm not 100% sure. This is just speculation that he could be charged with kidnapping. All right. The other thing was this. All right. So I already told you the $50,000 that he paid for the tape. I do find that a little bit weird, though. Diddy is a billionaire, and you have a billionaire on tape beating up his girlfriend in a hotel room, and you're only going to charge him $50,000. That sounds very weird to me. I also heard that when he paid the $50,000, they gave him a copy, and they also gave Cassie a copy. So I don't know if that's true. I'm just saying this is what I've heard, allegedly, right? Yeah, all right. So that's it with this things that I've heard over the past 4 days. And I guess just in closing, like I already told you what I thought about the apology video. And I think I've told you enough about that. And I agree with Charlemagne. But I just really want to highlight one of the biggest things in this whole past 4 days. And anybody who watches or listens to this show daily, you'll know that I'm saying the truth. I think almost every day last week, or it may have been every other day, I said, yo, what is Diddy doing posting on Instagram? Do you guys remember that? It's like he posted, time will tell the truth. I'm like, Diddy, why are you posting that? He had his son put out a diss track to 50 Cent saying, man, you guys don't know, yo, we're not going to be touched, we're this or that's. Like, why is your son putting out a song about the case, Diddy, saying that you guys are untouchable, blah, blah, blah. Why are you posting pictures of your family on Mother's Day? Why are you posting pictures of you and your daughter? So I disagree with him. We're not even talking about statements. I'm just saying, why are you even posting that you're out of the house? You're posting yourself on a beach in a bathing suit with your kids around. Like, if you want to go out with your kids, no problem. Of course, it's Mother's Day. Kim passed away. Okay, you want to be with your kids on Mother's Day? Bro, you don't need to be posting it on Instagram, antagonizing people. Posting your newborn daughter, you're one of the major things that he's being charged for in his criminal suit is abusing women and having sex workers. You're holding up your newborn daughter with you and her in a towel on a beach, saying, "Yeah, the love of my life." Like, you don't think that's going to be triggering to people that they see what you're doing to somebody else's daughters out there, but then you're like, "Oh, I'm going to protect and love my daughter." Like, Do you know how triggering that is to Cassie, to any woman that has gone through any sort of physical abuse or domestic abuse? Like, to the feds that are out there that are looking at you and your case, like, oh, this guy's just enjoying life. Okay, cool. Like, this is why this tape came out and it didn't come out 4 months ago or 2 months ago or whatever. Like, this is just my belief. I just think that for the past month or month and a half, Diddy has been antagonizing people. And I even said it during the Drake and Kendrick Lamar. I was like, yo, Diddy must be happy that no one's talking about him because everything in the headlines was Drake and Kendrick. But like what I tell you guys all the time is that media, especially now where everybody has their shows, everybody has a podcast, everybody has this, everybody has that, Instagram accounts, TikTok, people are making money off of this. So they're literally looking every day, searching like, what are we going to talk about? What's going to get the algorithm jumping? What's going to get me the most views or whatever? So people are just searching for things to talk about. As soon as the Kendrick and Drake thing ended, I was like, yo, I guarantee you they're going to start talking about Diddy again. I guarantee you something's going to happen. Exactly 4 or 5 days later, boom, this tape drops. It's like perfect timing. It didn't come around at all when Drake and Kendrick were beefing. But anyways, I feel like Diddy brought this on himself. Another thing that I heard, my last, what do you want to call it? Not theory, but whatever, conspiracy theory, is that the reason why this tape has come out, I think I heard this on TMZ, is that the feds don't have a strong enough case against him to press charges. And they are like, okay, you know what? We don't want to look stupid out here. We did all this. We raided his house. We did all that. And we don't have enough to press charges against him. But what we are going to do is that we're going to completely ruin him as a celebrity, ruin him as a person. And maybe we're going to just release this tape. Because people are saying if this was the only copy and Diddy had it, maybe the authorities got it during the raid and they leaked it to CNN to at least just make him look bad. So at least now the feds don't look like they raided him for nothing. And that theory, this is the word I was looking for, the theory. That theory also makes a lot of sense because it would make sense why Diddy was for the past week or 2 weeks saying, oh, the truth will come out. I'm going to be a free man, and acting as if like he's going to get away with everything. It would make sense if he knew there was going to be no charges laid against him. All right, he's going to start coming back outside. And then they're like, oh, you think you're free? No problem. We can't try you in the court of law. We're going to try you in a court of public opinion. So anyways, those are all the theories. Those are all the speculation. That's everything that I've heard over the past 4 days. And like I said, my theory is you could just forget all of that. If you just watch Diddy on his Instagram for the past 2 weeks, Diddy brought this on himself. He has a thirst for the public attention, and you got to be careful for the kind of attention that you're asking for, because trust me, this is not the attention that Diddy wanted. And now his career, his business, his likelihood is over forever. They're never going to forget him about this. People are like comparing it to Chris Brown, like, oh, Chris Brown, did the same thing with Rihanna. First of all, Chris Brown has not been forgiven. Every time he puts out an album, somebody says something about him. And I would like to remind you that when that happened, Chris Brown was 18 years old. Not making an excuse, but he was 18 years old. When this happened to Diddy, he was 46 years old. And there's a ton of other allegations pressed against him. That was one thing that happened with Chris Brown. So anyways, we can go on and talk about this literally forever. So I'm going to put a button on it right there. That was my take. That's everything that happened for the past 4 days. Send me an email. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know if you guys have any theories. Let me know if there was something I missed. I'll talk about it next show. I'm pretty sure we're going to be talking about this for this pretty much the entire week. There's going to be more and more things that are coming out. Send me an email. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any information I could talk about on the show. Trend Out Loud at cfqr600.com. Comment under this YouTube video or send me a DM at any of my social handles at Trend Out Loud. All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. Scrappy shares a message after footage of Diddy assaulting Cassie surfaces. And he says, if Diddy walked past me right now, I'd take the fade with him just cuz. So I just wanted to play this just to let you know, Diddy, just even like rappers are denouncing him. It's not only just, media and other public figures. Like you have like friends of his saying that literally like he wants to beat up Diddy. Take a listen to Scrappy.
If Diddy walked past me right now, I'd take the fade with him. I'll take the favor, cuz. I don't care about no apology and all that. But nah, cuz, the way he did Shawty, that was foul, man. That was some real. And you can tell he was doing that shit for a long time.
Like I said, when you have rappers coming out and getting on their social media saying they want to beat you up, yo, it's over for Diddy. He has nowhere to turn, man. It's over. The music industry, his businesses, like it is over for Diddy. All right, in our second quick story, Eminem's daughter, Hailie Jade, ties the knot over the weekend. This is a really cool story for big Eminem fans out there. You'll know that in most of Eminem's albums, he always talks about Hailie, and he has pretty much changed around his life and stopped taking drugs and doing all of the crazy stuff that he used to do. And he said he was doing it for his daughter, even performing, because he was such a huge drug addict that he couldn't go on stage and perform without using drugs. So part of the reason for him not performing is him stopping doing drugs, and he was just like, I got to do this for my daughter. So it's really nice. It's really sweet to see Eminem have his daughter get married over the weekend. I'll read to you a little bit of the story. Congrats are in order to Eminem's daughter, Hailie Jade, who married Evan McClocktalk. I think that's how I pronounce his last name, sorry, over the weekend. Eminem was present as his baby girl gained the wife title. Hailie took to social media to recap the special moment and said, "We couldn't have asked for a better, more beautiful weekend celebration. So many happy tears were shed, laughter and smiles were had, so much love was felt. Evan and I felt so grateful for all of our family and friends that traveled to support us and be part of this new chapter of our lives as husband and wife." That's really nice. According to TMZ, sources shared that the guests of the weddings included 50 Cent, Dr. Dre, Jimmy Iovine, and more. So all Eminem's homies came out. It was nice to see that 50 Cent was there with Dr. Dre and Eminem and Jimmy Iovine. He doesn't always get along with them, but yeah, shout out to Eminem, man. Eminem is officially grown up, man. His daughter is married. Can you imagine that Hailie is going to have a baby of her own one day and Eminem is going to be a grandfather? That's crazy. All right, in our third speed story, all right, this is a funny one. Chet Hanks, Tom Hanks' son, sent a text to Tom Hanks, his dad, about Drake and Kendrick. It's a little long, but I'll try to read it for you quickly. It's hilarious. So, but just imagine like Tom Hanks and his son having this conversation, okay? So Tom texts his son and says, "Hey, big man, can you explain the Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef to me?" Listen to this. And for those of you who don't understand the beef, this explains it in such layman terms. It's perfect. Listen, he goes, "Hey, so Drake and this other dude, J. Cole, has been saying all along that them and Kendrick were the big three in rap. Then Kendrick put out a song saying, F that, F the big three, it's only big me. That ignited the beef. Then Drake was like, you got small feet, you're 5'5" or whatever. And then Kendrick was like, oh, you're a deadbeat, and made fun of his Canadian accent. So then Drake went back and was like, oh yeah, I heard you beat your wife. But literally 30 seconds later, Kendrick put out a diss overshadowing Drake's diss, where he pretty much methodically dismantled Drake's entire psyche and called him a pedophile for flirting with young girls and revealing Drake had another kid that he was hiding from the world, which turned out to be false. And Drake came back and was like, haha, I got you. I had people give you false info to make you look stupid. But it didn't even matter, because then Kendrick dropped another West Coast banger where we literally went in on Drake labeling him as a pedophile. That was pretty much a sonic equivalent of when you took me to high school in Oakland and we walked in on the basketball game and everybody started going nuts. Like, if you heard it, you would just automatically know how to crip walk with a stanky face while clutching your Oscar in one hand with Marshall Lynch dapping you up. I don't know where he comes up with that analogy. But he said basically that solidified the win, not only for Kendrick, but for the entire East Coast. And then Tom Hanks goes, holy cow, those are fighting words. Are people taking sides? Who's winning? And then he writes back and goes, did you just read what I said to you? With laughing emojis. Anyways, I thought that was funny. It's going viral all over the internet. And somebody's like, yo, chill. Not Tom Hanks, not Chet Hanks giving Tom Hanks the breakdown of the Drake and Kendrick battle. Anyways, thought that was really funny where you guys, man. Shout out to Tom Hanks for wanting to know what's going on in the rap world. All right, in our fourth and final quick story, there were no survivors found at crash site of helicopter carrying Iranian president. This was just very strange to me. This happened over the weekend, and apparently it was very cloudy, and there's 3 helicopters, and it was bad weather. How can a helicopter with a country's president crash and there's no survivors? I just don't understand. Anyways, I'm not even gonna get into any of like theories or you know, what do you call that? Pardon me, guys. I just came off of a long weekend. Okay. Conspiracy theories is the word I'm looking for. But I will read to you the update. According to Iranian state news, no survivors were found after the helicopter carrying Iranian president crashed. Early AP reports a helicopter carrying Iranian president, the country's foreign minister, and others officials apparently crashed in the mountains northwest region of Iran Sunday, sparking a massive rescue operation in a fog-shrouded forest. Crazy. After initial report, rescue crews searched for more than 12 hours and eventually concluded through drone footage that the helicopter crashed in the mountain areas. The crash occurred amid the president being under major scrutiny for the drone and missile attacks on Israel last month. We will keep you updated to whatever. So that's what I'm saying. Like, with all the war that's going on in Israel, then they are bombing and shooting missiles, and then all of a sudden, the president's helicopter literally just gets into an accident in the forest, and it's fog. Like, and I know that happened to Kobe a couple of years ago. It was the same thing where it was fog, it was bad weather, but I don't know. I don't know enough about this to talk and tell you guys what I think about it. All I just know is that it's super weird that a president of a country that's escorted by 2 other helicopters, that helicopter goes down. I just find it weird. That's all I have to say. All right, this takes us to speed news. Ring my bell. Kendrick Lamar tops Spotify's list of 100 greatest hip hop songs of the streaming era. Okay, this is super weird. I'm going to tell you what's going on, but it just doesn't make sense to me. So the article says Spotify released their list of 100 greatest hip hop songs of the streaming era, and it's some heavy hitters on the list. All songs on the list were released on Spotify after January the 1st, 2015. Coming in at 100 is Coi Leray with Players, and Kendrick topped the list at number 1 with All Right. But they're not saying like what the criterias are, because Kendrick Lamar's All Right had 685 million streams, which is crazy. But then Drake comes in at number 3 with God's Plan, but then they don't show how many spins that Drake got. So and we all know that God's Plan and Drake has over 1 billion streams. So if Kendrick Lamar's song, which is number 1, has half the amount of streams, why is Drake number 3? And who's number 2? And why is Sexy Red, who I love dearly, with 90 million streams? Why is her song there at 96? Like, it just makes no sense. When they put out stuff like this, they gotta set what the criteria are. And for a streaming platform, the only criteria should be streaming. Like, that's it. What makes the greatest hip hop song? Anyway, I don't know. If you guys have some more information, please let me know. All right, in our second speed story, fans react to Amber Rose posting up with Donald Trump and showing him her support. So I don't know. This looks like it may have been a rally or something. So Amber Rose takes a picture with Donald Trump, and people were literally just tearing her up. One woman wrote, "This woman claims to care about women's rights, votes for the guy who took away women's rights. Amber is not for women's rights. She's only for herself. If y'all listen to her podcast, this probably wouldn't be shocking to you. She argues with her friends on Republican talking points." Okay, well, if she is Republican and she's talking about Republican talking points, then this is, I guess, not that shocking. Somebody, I guess, kind of jokingly said, she's a white woman first. Well, she is mixed, but she's just making fun of her, I guess. She said, this person said, she's a white woman first. We knew she was a clown from the moment she started talking. I miss the good old days when Kanye was controlling her and she was seen and not heard. This is sad. All right, well, that's not very nice. Anyways, Amber Rose just last night put out this statement, actually, defending her post. And she said, laugh out loud. Y'all think Biden cares about black people? Sad. Do your research. I did. I always, in cap locks, put women first. She goes, y'all want biological men in women's sports? And then she put the emoji with the rolling eyes. She said, Trump supports the most reasonable compromise on abortion. Stop being brainwashed because we're people of color. Make your own decision. Amber, first of all, you have a right to support and vote for whoever you want to. That's no problem. However, I do think if you are a woman's activist, and for people who don't know, Amber, after she broke up with Kanye, Amber made a name for herself in the industry having women's rights and women's protests, and she started a thing called the Slut Walk, and everything was about women empowerment, and that's how really she got a big name in the industry. So that's why a lot of people are surprised, for those of you who don't know. But if you want to say, for the reason why you support Trump is to say, Trump supports the most reasonable compromise to abortion? Yo, he is the one that wants to take credit for getting rid of Roe versus Wade and abolishing a woman's right to make a choice. He credits himself. He's like, I just want to go down as the president who took away women's rights. And you want to say, well, he supports a compromise to abortion? If it's not flat out abortion and it's what a woman wants and it's her choice, there shouldn't be any compromise. It should just be a woman has a right to choose or nothing. There shouldn't be like, you don't have a right to choose, but I'll give you a little compromise. That's shocking that is it. Say it's better you come off and say, listen, I'm pro-life and whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I think that, a woman that does have an abortion, she said, like, say something. Don't be like, well, I am pro-abortion, I'm pro-choice, but I kind of like that he's giving me a compromise. That's like the person that's like somebody kidnapping you and then being like, yo, he kidnapped me, but he gave me steak for, three meals out of the week. So it's a blessing. At least I got steak. Like, are you kidding me, Amber? That's ridiculous. Anyways, that's a horrible take. All right, in our third speed story, Diddy reportedly legally barred from saying Cassie's name in public after they settled. So in the civil trial that he settled with her, where he reportedly paid her $30-40 million, whatever the amount is, in that trial, probably part of the NDA was you could never say my name in public again. And also she cannot say his name in public again. So there was a lot of people that were like, hey, in this statement, in this apology, he said on Sunday, could you imagine he didn't even say sorry to Cassie? But people are now coming out and saying, well, he cannot say her name, which is ridiculous because you can literally just say, I would like to apologize to the person in the video, or something along the lines. Yeah, you can't legally say her name. And listen, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you can't even allude to her, but come on, man. You know what I mean? Like if somebody, anyways, there's a way that you could have gotten that across, and say, hey, for legal reasons, I can't say certain people's name or allude to them, but I just want to let you guys know, or I want to let this person know that I apologize. Like, come on, that's a little bit ridiculous. Anyways, according to TMZ, Diddy and Cassidy are both legally barred for speaking about each other in public after their November 23rd settlement. See, speaking about each other in public. So yeah, maybe he can't even make reference to her. Maybe I'm wrong. This news comes after Diddy received backlash for not directly apologizing to Cassie in his alleged video after footage of him assaulting her was released. According to a source close to the matter, the settlement included a very tight non-disclosure agreement that prevents the two from mentioning each other in public forums. So yeah, maybe he can't refer to her, but I still feel like there was a way he could have gotten it through, and it's an apology at the end of the day. But hey, maybe he doesn't want to take the chance. All right, in our fourth and final speed story, my man Druski. Druski is giving y'all an aerial view at him and Robi Rose's. I really can't talk today. Robi Rose's matching sandals. All right, I'm going to put this picture up on my YouTube channel if you guys want to go check it out at Trent Out Loud. So Druski it's kind of like an aerial shot of like their feet and they're in sandals. And he said, she want a Birken, so I got her Birkenstocks. Like, you know, the Birken purse, you got her Birkenstocks, the sandals. Ha, ha, ha. But people are actually also making fun of him because it looks like he has a bruise. Like one of his nails are all blacked out. But Druski is a comedian. I still don't even believe this relationship. I still don't believe together, and I think he's trolling us. Even more so, he's putting pictures of his feet where he doesn't need to, and he has a big blacked out toe. Like, Druski is a comedian, man. This is all trolling for views, but I love every second of it, man. So shout out to Druski and Robi Rose. All right, this brings us to question of the day. All right, I got to go through this quickly because I'm running low on time, so I'll go quick. Drop the name of a cereal that reminds me of your childhood. Somebody wrote Kicks and keep the comments cute. Pops, y'all wasn't outside. Pops? I don't even remember what that was. Somebody said Captain Crunch will have the roof of your mouth feeling like thumbtacks afterwards. That is so true, but I really love Captain Crunch. Somebody wrote King Vitamin. If you know, you know. That must be an American thing. I've never heard of a breakfast cereal called King Vitamin. Somebody said Frosted Flakes when they used to be sweet for real. Yo, I haven't had Frosted Flakes in so long. Are they not sweet anymore? Yo, that's my top two. I'll tell you guys my favorite one. I'm gonna wait to see if somebody says it. Somebody said Fruity Pebbles, soggy ass cereal. 1000% Fruity Pebbles was dope. Honeycombs was alright, but didn't really wasn't sweet enough for me. I have a huge sweet tooth. Somebody wrote Honey Smacks. Is Honey Smacks different from Honeycombs? I think so. Somebody wrote Tricks, Cookie Crisps, Apple Jacks, Pops. Another person said Pops. I gotta Google this. Cookie Crisp. Oh, I think Cookie Crisp was dope. I think I remember having that. Somebody said the old formula from the 90s, not the new-ish ones y'all be eating now. Cornflakes. Yo, Cornflakes is underrated. I'm happy somebody said that. It's not in my top three, but 1000% Cornflakes is dope, man. You put sugar. My dad used to make this when we were kids, man. Load that up with white, horrible sugar. It's horrible for you, but just white sugar, bananas, and I put raisins in there and 1 or 2 strawberries. Mwah! It's amazing. You can't have it plain, but it's just a good carrier, and you put all this other stuff in there. Oh, or actually, you know the little cherries that used to come in the jar? Not even strawberries, but the cherries, and you put a little bit of that cherry juice in there. Oh, and then the milk gets all cherry, so it's like a strawberry. Oh my God, it's heaven. Shout out to Cornflakes. All right, I said I was going to be quick, and I'm doing all this talking. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Rice Krispie Treats, Captain Crunch, that was good. Okay, somebody put a list. Frosted Flakes, Pops, Honeycombs, Kicks, Tricks, Golden Grams. Golden Grams were good too. Captain Crunch, Cheerios, Apple Jacks, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and Honey Smacks. Okay, Fruit Loops. There you go. I was wondering when somebody was going to say that. Fruit Loops 2 is in my top 3. So it's Fruit Loops and Frosted Flakes kind of fights, man. But yeah, amazing Fruit Loops. All right, let's see. Raisin Bran. Raisin Bran is another love because I love Raisin Bran. And Frosted Flakes. Okay, nobody has said it. I'm surprised. So as a kid, my mom used to go to the groceries every Thursday, and I would come home from school, and I would open the cupboard that, like, I guess you call it the pantry, the fridge, the freezer, and then we had another pantry over the freezer, and I would grade her in every section and see if she could get 100%. So there's 4 sections in the house, and the section above the freezer had that's where we kept the chips and stuff. But the pantry, the first one, was where we kept the cereal, and that was the first thing I looked for, and it was the first thing I judged. Was like, yo, what cereal am I getting? She didn't always get me my favorite because it was too much sweet or whatever. It was expensive, whatever, and we were always on a budget. But Lucky Charms is my favorite cereal of all times. I would say, look, just because the marshmallows, the little other cereal that was in there wasn't all that great, but the marshmallows Whew, and I would save all the marshmallows to the end. And then the milk is all sweet with the marshmallows and you just eat it. Oh, it was heaven. She definitely got a 25% if my favorite cereal was in there. So yeah, Lucky Charms, Fruit Loops, and Frosted Flakes. So my mom's always listening to my show. So shout out to mom. Shout out to my mom. I know you remember that, mom. And thank you for being the best mom ever and always pretty much getting 100% all the time. Maybe not buy some chips and she get a 75, but in the freezer, I always had like some Eggos or something sweet. In the fridge, there was like a juice I would more judge because that or maybe like some fruits or whatever would be cool. But that pantry with the cereal and pastries, whew, that was the first thing I would go to as soon as I came home from school every Thursday. I'll never forget that. So shout out to mom. Love you. All right, my second question of the day. Name a TV series that started out well and then flopped. Okay, I promise this one I'm going to go quickly. Somebody said Designated Survivor. Somebody said You. What? Yo, You started out good and ended good. It's not over yet, but You was amazing. Somebody said All American. Never seen that show. Blood and Water, Riverdale, Empire. Yeah, Empire got horrible. That she said, oh, I can't finish none of those. Most shows, though, that I watch, if I invest my time watching a show, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to finish no matter how bad it gets. But I never finished watching Empire because it really got bad. Somebody said, still don't remember how Riverdale ended or which part I stopped watching at. Somebody wrote, Who Killed Sarah? Don't know. Love and Hip Hop. Empire for sure. All American. Grey's Anatomy. Isn't Grey's Anatomy still going on? Riverdale again. Bridgerton. I'm actually going to start watching Bridgerton. I saw it's on its 3rd season that's out. I'm going to start watching it. I'm watching Dexter right now, and I'm going to watch Bridgerton. Somebody wrote SpongeBob. Give me a break. Riverdale. Wow, Riverdale must have gone really bad. Everything is Riverdale and All American. Black Mirror. P-Valley. Riverdale. Manifest. Somebody wrote Power with Tariq. That's not Power. That's it's now Ghost. Prison Break. What? Yo, Prison Break was amazing and has always been amazing. Somebody put You and Empire. I totally disagree with the You. But yeah, I would say Riverdale and Empire has won. Somebody wrote Blacklist. Somebody put The Shy. Are you crazy? The Shy is back on and it's amazing. You guys are crazy. Somebody wrote BMF. All right, so I honestly don't have an answer for this because, like I said, anytime I start watching a show, even if it's not great, I still stay so invested in the characters that I just got to see what happens to the character. And this is going to be hard for me to say because I'm a big 50 Cent fan and I love all of his shows. I will say, though, like, I'm not too sure what's going on with BMF. I'm not going to say it's totally done or I'm totally done watching it because I'll forever always watch it. But I don't know, man. Like, I just feel like I don't know. Something about it. Like, I'm not loving it like how I love all the other ones. Like, I love Ghost. Even Raising Kanan, like, it's not my favorite, but I'll still watch it. But this BMF for some reason, but at the same time, every time that I'm like, ugh, it's not good, something happens and I'm like, all right, yo, it's dope. So anyway, shout out to Fifth, man. Don't hold that against me, all right? All right, this brings us to sports news. All right, we have to recap what happened over the weekend. Like I said, I know that we had the day off and everybody probably has talked about this, but it's my turn. I have to say what I have to say. That OKC Dallas game, I'm so mad at Shea for fouling that guy hitting the 3-pointer. I can't remember who was taking the shot. 2 seconds or 3 seconds left. He gets Shea in the air. You're already airborne, man. Like, you can't come down and hit the ball like that and risk getting that foul. He played such a good game. I hate that their season had to end like that. And he played such a great series, a great game. It's arguably that he should have been the MVP of the league. For them to go out with Shea making that mistake with that foul, I thought was really bad. I also do think that he also made another mistake, and I don't think a lot of people are talking about this. They left too much time on the clock because they had the ball. I don't know if he hit a 3 or was a 2-point or whatever, but I'm sure it was Shea who made the shot to go ahead by 1. Were they ahead by 1? No, they went ahead by 2. Sorry, ahead by 2. Whatever. Let's say it's a 2-point shot. it was like 28 seconds or 27 seconds left. And the shot clock was at like 19 or 18. Yo, bro, you bring that down to like 6 or 7 seconds, and then you only leave, and you're in the lead, and you only leave them 6 or 7 seconds. Because once you're under the 24, you're not getting the ball back. So anyways, I just thought that was horrible. Also bad to challenge the call, because I would have rather at least, if he makes, let's say it is a foul, he makes it. Now you take a timeout. You have 3 seconds with the ball on your court, on your side of the court. But anyways, thought that was just really just bad management. I just hate to see Shea go out like that. And I would have loved to have seen another Game 7. I still do think that Dallas probably would have taken Game 7, but I would have just loved to have seen it. Shout out to the Knicks. The whole team was injured. I mean, that was just a wrap anyways. Even if they would have got on, even if they would have won that game, there's no way they could have beaten Boston with so many injuries. So shout out to the Knicks. Had a great season. My team, my game, the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Wolves are going to the Western Conference Finals. That is my team, my prediction. I told you guys from the beginning of the playoffs, going for the Wolves. I thought they were going to beat Denver. I actually thought they were going to probably beat them in 5 games. I knew they probably weren't going to sweep them, but I thought like Game 5 or Game 6 at least. But, shout out to the Wolves. They played an amazing game. Shout out to Denver. They did their thing. I'm just not a big fan. But I just think the Dallas and Minnesota series is going to be pretty much like the finals. Like, Dallas and Minnesota and Edwards against Kyrie, Luka. Like, it's going to be really, really, really good. Boston and Pacers, I don't know. I just find the East Coast a little bit boring. We all know that Boston is the better team. Boston, they have that guy that I keep on forgetting his name that's out, that they're saying they won't win the finals if he's not there. Can't remember his name. But anyways, we're in for a great week of basketball. How they're playing it, it's going to be 1 game on, 1 game off. So we're going to have a game Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. There's not going to be any more late nights. Every game starts around 8 or 8:30. So for every day this week, we're going to have it's going to be Eastern Conference and then Western Conference. No, sorry. Eastern starts tonight. So it's Pacers and Celtics tonight, Tuesday, and then Dallas and Minnesota will be Wednesday. So they'll just go back and forth after that. I 100% think that the Wolves will take Dallas. It's going to a Game 6 or a Game 7 for sure. I definitely think Wolves will take it. The beauty, though, is that if they do lose, my third team would be Dallas. So I would go for Kyrie and Luka in the final. So at least I still have one of my teams. Just to recap, my first team is Warriors, then it's Timberwolves, and then it's Dallas. So at least one of my teams will make it into the finals for sure. So that's going to be a good Western Conference Finals for me to watch, because ultimately, I'm a Steph Curry and Warriors guy. So anyways, shout out to the NBA. You guys let me know who you think is going to win the Eastern Conference, who's going to win the Western Conference. Send me an email, comment below, or send me a DM. All right, that's it. The show is over for me. I had a great day. Like I said, I had a great long weekend. I feel rejuvenated. I feel good. I was glad to be back. Happy to be back. I will see you guys tomorrow, Wednesday. Hump Day, that's one of my favorite days, because that's when the weekend started. Yes, the weekend just ended, but I'm still looking forward to next weekend. All right. All right. Before I go, just want to remind you guys, if you watch this show on YouTube or you listen to this on podcast platforms, always please try to remember you can catch us from 11 to 12 weekdays on CFQR600.com from any device anywhere in the world. You could listen to this podcast while we mix in 90s and 2000s hip hop and R&B. That's weekdays from 11 to 12 on CFQR600.com or 600 AM if you're in the Montreal area on your radio stations. Vice versa, if you're used to listening to this on the radio or on the internet from 11 to 12 and you can't always catch it, you're at work, you're busy, you got housework, you got a call, you got to Skype, you got to take care of the kids, you got to do whatever, you got practice. Don't worry. You won't miss it. You can always catch the Trent Out Loud podcast on demand on YouTube or on podcast platforms. Just type in Trent Out Loud and the show will pop up. Don't forget to click the subscribe and follow buttons. Thanks for kicking it with me. I will see you tomorrow. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trent Out Loud. Peace.